Whoa, I think my volume's too loud. Let me turn down the volume here. Sorry about that. Where's that volume? Maybe if I just lower the gain a little bit. All right, how we doing, everybody? Sorry, I just bought this Blue Yeti microphone the other day, and I'm still testing the its powers. Maybe if I keep my distance here a little bit. So, hmm, that is a bit too loud still. Let me lower my gain. Okay. How about that? That's better. Okay. So, uh, I just finished watching tonight's Euphoria, season 2, episode 5. The title is "Stand Still Like the Hummingbird." Mm, making sure first we are live, and it was crazy. That's better. Okay. So, holy crap! It was just like 1 hour of just Zendaya and it was a masterclass acting by Zendaya. I mean, she really earned that Emmy that she won last time for Euphoria. Like she made sure tonight that she's gonna win her second Emmy this coming year because that was just fantastic. That was powerful performance. It was very visceral, very tour de force. Whatever you want to whatever adjective you want to throw in there, that was some great acting by Zendaya. And I made a note that it's so weird comparing the Zendaya that you saw on Twitter. You know, all this lovey-dovey stuff between her and Tom Holland, the Spider-Man guy. You've seen Twitter, right? She keeps trending every day. It's all about, oh, Tom Holland and Zendaya just bought a house together. Oh, Tom Holland says my MJ about Zendaya, or Zendaya calls Tom my Spidey or my Spider-Man. It was all like so adorable and sweet and sunshine and rainbow. And then you got this Zendaya. That's this actress Zendaya that just blows you away. It just like this is not MJ. This is the opposite end of the spectrum from MJ. So different. Um, but now you see if anybody ever doubted Zendaya winning that Emmy, a few years ago for Euphoria, I think that doubt has now dissipated. That doubt has gone away now. If they watch tonight's episode, they're like, "Oh, pardon me. Sorry if I ever said anything to like poo poo her victory. It's like, oh, now we know. um but yeah, that was just one, and right in the smack in the middle of tonight's episode, Rue, Zendaya's character, dropped the bomb about Cassie. I was like, oh my god, that was just so oh my goodness. Woo. Sorry, the volume's still a bit too loud, huh? Let me turn it down a little bit. Okay. So I was just like, holy crap, damn, dude. I wanted to see what happens right after they got upstairs, because Maddie was just like, I want to fuck you up, she told Cassie, and then the last thing we saw was like they were running up the stairs, and we don't know if Maddie managed to fuck Cassie up. It's like, oh, I want to see that. I want to see that. Get the camera in that room already. Hopefully, we get to see the end of that or that side of it next week. Obviously tonight is all about Rue. Um, but yeah, I was so curious about that Maddie and Cassie, and my goodness, who would have thought that it was gonna be Rue that pretty much did undo the whole thing. Like she pretty much undid the whole thing. I was like, holy crap, I did not expect that. That was insane. That was so like, oh my goodness. And you know me, I feel sorry for Cassie, man, because Maddie is, whoo, you do not want to get on her bad side. She can get really physical. Like she will beat you up. You know what I'm saying? And my favorite character, as you know, is Kat. And still, up to this point, I feel a bit disappointed that season 2 doesn't have much substance plot wise for Kat. especially tonight. And I'm guessing next week when we see that confrontation between Maddie and Cassie, um, Kat will still play a minimal role, a very minuscule supporting role in that. As the girl who holds Maddie back from killing Cassie. That's pretty much Kat's role right now. And so as a fan of Kat, I was like, oh, she has been reduced to that. But I get it though. I get it. It's Maddie versus Cassie, and I can't wait to see how that plays out next week. Hopefully, we get to see what goes down up in that second story of that house. When they went up the stairs, like, oh my goodness, she was chasing her. Woo! So that was hot. That was pretty intense. But back to Rue though. Man, the whole thing with withdrawal. I obviously the weakest shit I've ever used is weed. But I've never done anything harder than that. I don't have any interest in doing anything harder than that, especially pills. Some of my friends growing up back in Indonesia, they did pop pills, and I kind of see their downfall. Their ways of doing things, or like their ways of thinking, changes when they're on that shit. And I don't know, man. I think tonight's depiction of the whole withdrawal on the part of Rue was very authentic. Um, Again, I'm not a user. I'm not like Rue. I don't have that lived experience. I think a lot of people who may have had gone through such an experience probably can attest to whether or not tonight's depiction is genuine. But it looks genuine. It looks very authentic. It looks very surreal and like so raw and like wow. Basically tonight's episode um will scare or will put the fear of God. It will put the fear of God in anybody who might want to try something harder than weed. um, but yeah, that was just a very, very interesting depiction. The whole thing, it's a whole hour where she pretty much runs across the street like a Frogger. The Frogger, the video game. And there's like a big, like a chunk of it, maybe I want to say 15, 20 minutes of just her being chased by the cops. And it was just like, oh my goodness. Um, and, and that's the beauty of Euphoria. That's why we tune in every week. This kind of shit is just like they really Sam Levinson and the team of writers and all his crew. They really went out of their way to make sure that you that if you feel like you're there with Rue, like running across the street, like you're there, and the intensity is so up to 11 that you kind of feel worry and concern for her every step of the way. Even as she like goes into this stranger's house. By the way, there's so many dogs on this episode. Okay, so tonight's episode is dedicated to all the lovely dogs out there, especially the guard ones who are mean. It's funny how Rue can tame one, but Rue cannot tame the others. The one that's the one in the junkyard. So a lot of dogs in tonight's episode. That was fantastic. I'm a dog person, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that whole 15-20 minutes of being chased by the cops, that was just so crazy, insane. I was like, oh my god, I was biting my nails, for Rue. I was like, oh, so scared for her. Um, Even up to the last moment when the drug dealer lady, if you will, kind of puts her in some sort of a freaking place that's very dangerous, if you will, full of other strangers. And I don't know about that lady. Just the thing is about that whole um, turn of events kind of reminds me of Breaking Bad or Ozark. And I don't know. It's cool that that season 2 is taking a turn for that, but at the same time, a part of me saying like, oh, I could just watch Breaking Bad, or I could just watch Ozark and get that. Like I wanna come to Euphoria and get something different. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be just another like, oh, another story about uh, a drug dealer holding a leverage on you, or like a whole drug dealer like, um, yeah, holding something over your head basically, because of the drugs that Ruse was missing, or that went down the toilet, if you will. So I was like, oh, I don't know, man, I don't know. I get it, I get it. They wanted to go that direction, but at the same time, I want to. If only it was something different. If only it was something that's not too familiar, that's not too Breaking Bad ish, if you will. But that's just my opinion. Um, but yeah, great acting by Zendaya. If I haven't said that already, I mean, I sound like a broken record now. I mean, that just the fact that she runs, all that much, and I wonder though. I want to read interviews with Zendaya after tonight's episode. I want to. I'm curious about her process. I'm curious about her, yeah, her process of embodying a junkie. Like, did she, was it part of her research that she kind of went to a rehab maybe, and take notice of the other, patients there, or maybe she watches a lot of junky kind of movies like Needle in the Park. Um, so I'm curious about her process. I'm curious how she managed to capture uh, Rue's withdrawal down to the T. Really spot on. Because tonight's episode really blows me away, and I'm really really curious about that. I hope there are interviews with Zendaya afterwards. By the way, also, Rue managed to ruin her relationship with Jules, and that really broke my heart. I love Jules; she's one of my favorite characters. Um, I don't care about Elliot. I'm sorry. If you guys do, that's fine. I don't care much about him. But Jules, that the things that Rue said to Jules on tonight's episode, it was just so wow, like a knife, right? Like push right through the heart, man. It's like I can't believe those words just came out of Ruth's mouth after all the shit that they've gone through together as friends, as lovers. I mean, like, that was just like some total burning bridges level. You know what I'm saying? That was like a level of burning bridges. Like, I don't know if they could come back from that. I don't know if I know Jules kept saying, "I love you, Rue. I love you, Rue. I want the best for you. I just don't want you to kill yourself. This is what's best for you. That's why I tattletale. That's why I snitch. To your mom about this. Like, maybe Jules, will not. Maybe Jules will not see this as sort of a burning bridges sort of a deal. Maybe she will stick it out. Maybe she will stick around for Rue. Um, if that's the case, then Jules has a bigger tolerance than I would. Because if somebody said that to my face, I'd be like, "Screw you, man! I'm out of here. I don't need to take this." It's like, I don't care if we're lovers or we're friends. Who gives? Like, I don't need to take this shit. I'm out of. I'm fuck you. So, but man, that was such intense, man. And again, 1,000 credits goes to Zendaya for that convincing performance, because she has a long monologue. That whole argument that she had with her mother and her sister, right? That was already like when she broke down the door, that was already like boom, because she was like ranting on and on and on. And then she was ranting against Jules to her face. That's another long monologue as well. So, I mean, if you have seen last year's movie Malcolm and Marie, remember that with Zendaya and John David Washington? Uh, you got a glimpse of Zendaya's acting prowess. That was just Malcolm and Marie was just like a here. This is Zendaya that's on a whole nother level. That's basically, and then now you see that on tonight's episode. I was like, oh my goodness. Which kind of goes to my last point that I know that Zendaya has been enjoying her time playing MJ in the Spider-Man movies, you know. Uh, but she in those movies she's a supporting role. She's the girlfriend, she's the emotional support, whatever you want to call it. I think it's high time that there needs to be a a movie or a franchise built around Zendaya as the lead. You know what I'm saying? So not Zendaya with Tom Holland, but Zendaya, as the lead star. Something like, I don't know. Doesn't have to be action. It could be something really substantive, whatever that may be. But I'm just saying that this talent of hers is incredible, and it needs to be showcased more and more. Not just on the medium of Euphoria or something like Malcolm and Murray, which she's still, even that in that movie, she's still playing with John David Washington. So but yeah, man, I could go on and on singing praises for Zendaya tonight. That was some masterful masterclass acting tonight. That was just amazing. And I think if she's not getting another Emmy nomination this year, I would be shocked. I would be shocked. And if she gets nominated and she doesn't win, I would be shocked because um, judging by just tonight's episode, it's just like it has Emmy victory written all over that, man, all over that episode. So cool, so cool. I bet she's like singing praises also for Sam Levinson for giving her that role, for writing that whole thing for her tonight. It's just like so. It's every actor's dream to be able to embody a character that complicated and in such a lengthy period as tonight's episode. Um, and last but not least, oh, I almost forgot. As you know, Euphoria is a remake, right, of an Israeli series titled Euphoria. I think it was a decade ago. Um, I'm interested. I'm interested in checking out those episodes. I don't know where those episodes may be available. I need to look them up. I need to look up which streaming service would have that original show that this HBO version is based on. Um, I just want to. I'm curious. I'm just curious. Maybe I want to make a comparison, probably between the two, or maybe I'm just curious to check it out just for what it is. Um, wondering if that original version had their own version of Rue or version of Zendaya that's just as powerful of an actress. I'm curious. I'm curious. Now I'm like it's running in my head, and I need to like quench that. I need to quench that thirst. So so I gotta find this Israeli version of Euphoria that was the original version that this HBO kind of based that on. So but yeah, I think that those are the things I have on my notes. Great episode. Oh my god, that was just oh, I can't wait to see that Cassie versus Maddie fight. Oh, hopefully we get to see it next week. Oh, oh, and Maddie is like, oh, with she has her long nails. Like, oh, bitch, I can't believe you fucked my ex boyfriend. Oh, I want to get violent right now. And Kat's like trying to hold her back. It's like, we'll talk about that later. Kat, shut the fuck up. That whole sequence was amazing, amazing, and I want to see what happens there. And you can see like the fear, just like the moment after Rue dropped that bomb. It's like Cassie, how long have you been fucking Nate? You could tell that facial expression that Sydney Sweeney had is like it turned like 180 like in a heartbeat, man. It's like because he was like all smiley. He's like, "Oh, Rue, we'll support you." I'm paraphrasing it for so we'll take it one day at a time. And then when Rue says, "How long have you been fucking Nate?" and he just like the face just changed like just like that. It was just and she's like, that was a great acting too by Sydney Sweeney because she was just so fearing for her life and safety because Maddie's right there and Maddie could like like choke her if she if she wants to, and like oh my god, she's like in the on the verge of tears and like like, oh, I don't know what she's talking about. She's a drug addict. Don't believe her. Oh, the drama, the drama, the drama. You know, I remember my time in high school. 2 years of my high school were spent. The first 2 years were spent in Indonesia. It was a public high school, and then my junior senior year, I spent it in America right here because I moved to America. So junior senior high school. It was a private high school. So first 2 years public high school in Indonesia. The last 2 years was in private school in America. And you know what? I gotta be honest with you. I don't remember my high school experience being this being this dark and fucked up. I don't know about your high school experience. Maybe your high school experience is, was kind of like Euphoria, or maybe it's a not so dark version of it. Now, maybe Euphoria is a hyper reality version, but it's like, oh, a little close to home there. But my high school experience, like, even though my friends were, I know, like I said earlier, were doing drugs, they were, fighting against other classmates or what have you. It never got to a point like Euphoria did. I, even partying, house parties, that was something that I experienced in college. I didn't get to do that in high school, so I don't know. It's a really really interesting take on high school experience. This is not, again, sunshine and rainbow and colors and like all lovey dovey. This is not Fuller House. Um, this is Sam Levinson's version of, of a high school experience. Uh, and I don't know if that resonates with, or that relates to how you remember your high school experience, because that's not how I remember mine. Mine is not colorful or all goody two shoe, but it's not this dark and fucked up either. I guess mine would be like a little bit moderate, if you will. But yeah, great episode, fantastic episode. I'm gonna go now and get my dinner on because I am fucking starving. I'm famished. I haven't eaten in a few hours. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. If you have to watch tonight's episode, what did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think about what did you think about the Zendaya's performance? What do you think about the whole Maddie versus Cassie? Uh, and what do you think is going to happen next week? All right. Give me your theories, and do you agree or disagree with my assessment? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's rock this. Where's the finish button? Oh, there you go.